Josh, how did you feel with that
I
compared to
felt
yesterday?
I felt a lot more comfortable this time around.
Good. Yep.
So, and at some points I did realize that I was getting stuck in my own head and not
Mm-hmm.
paying attention to the client.
Yeah.
And then I realized at some points I was like, okay, I don't know what to ask, and that's why I was like, you know what, I need Fritz. So I was like, Fritz,
Yeah.
I need help. So
Yeah.
I was glad that I was able to at least use you as my resource
Yeah.
and think of or how to ask certain questions that
Mm-hmm.
that the clients has said. So
Yeah.
that really helped me out a lot. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, no
I gotta
problem.
say,
And
the
go
whole
ahead.
it never felt forced like you were running out of steam or anything. It just felt like moving. Like, oh, Fritz, I need some help over here. And then you started then taking over after Fritz after a little while.
Yeah. Yeah. It's we overthink this, right? We when we are in that position, and again, Josh, you're being recorded, there that will have a big effect on an unconscious effect, like with regards to this. So give yourself compassion with regards to that. And also we think that we're like, oh my God, I'm stalling. Like that's that feeling like I need to keep the process going. That is a normal feeling as well. But as Sebastian said, he didn't really feel like it was, right, Sebastian, like it didn't feel like it didn't feel at all. And be honest, like disjointed.
No, I didn't feel stilted. It didn't feel like you ran out of steam or you were like struggling or anything like that. It just sort of
Yeah.
sometimes the questions came really quickly. Sometimes there was a beat.
Yeah.
Sometimes there was a clear line of how they're developing. Sometimes they're more, here's a question from here, here's a question from here. But no point was I ever, if I was in that, would I go, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy's just, shooting into the dark.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Yeah. So just trust that, Josh, and listen to that feedback again.
Okay. Well,
Because we definitely, yeah, we're
yeah.
in our heads too much. And again, what I mentioned yesterday, the don't underestimate the shut the fuck up technique. If you don't know what to say.
Okay.
What were you saying?
Sometimes too, you'd ask a question, and even before I would answer you, part of me was also coming up with different answers for things that weren't related. I was just
Right.
telling you the stuff in my mind, but I was going to respond to your question. So they asked something, I think something would come up. It didn't seem germane to that question, but it's a good thing to kind of realize of, oh, that's shame. Like, oh, I'm recognizing this. And that might just be for me, really, but
Yeah.
it would be still there. So, even when yes, I was getting a lot of things were going on internally that I don't think you were aware of for me in a good way.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's with every client too. There's a lot, like I said, just firing off a question at a client with intention and using our unconscious moment will open up a lot of unconscious processes. Remember, Josh, how just one question made you very internal and made you like reconsider things in your mind very, very quickly, right? So go with your experience and be like one question for me can get me very internal. Same thing for my clients, right? Like you want to pausing and slowing down is really good when you feel like you're running out of steam and you don't know what to ask. Just pause. Like actually, I would encourage you to do that. Just pause. And if you don't know what to say, just say, that's interesting. Pause, recoup yourself, see what happens to your client. I say that a lot too. You've heard me say it. That's interesting. If I don't know what to say, that's also what I'll say. I'm like, let me recenter myself. And then the client will be like, yeah, that is really interesting. And then they'll start mouthing off again. And then you can re-ask your question. So did that help too with the getting stuck feeling? Slow down to speed up. We've heard of that before. Slow your questions down, slow yourself down. Just say, that's interesting. Or just say, really? Like, make it simple.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I remember that one question he said at the very end when you were telling me to ask the test questions.
mhm,
I was like, oh, are you sure about that?
yeah, good.
I really like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And really just like, you're just kind of like asking the simplest question to keep it moving slightly. So you don't feel stuck. And then, but either way, the client is going to be very internal anyway. So you're doing the right thing, and silence is better. If you, and this is feedback for everybody, right? Like we can be more silent with our sessions, and you'll be surprised how much more powerful those sessions can be, because it's literally you're placing your clients in a spot where you're just like their mind is just processing, which is going to be more powerful than us talking anyway.
Okay.
Does that help with when you catch yourself overthinking?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So
Right.
what are you going to do
I'm gonna pause.
the next time you overthink and you're like, I don't know what to say?
Yeah, I'm gonna go, oh, that was interesting.
Yeah.